Okay, hi everyone. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining. I am Reni, as many of you know, and today we're going to be talking about what it means to be a content creator. So, if you are here already, I know we just started, but if you're here already, please leave a comment in the chat section and let me know where you're joining from. So say hi, I'm Reni from Mississauga. Please introduce yourself in the chat. And there also is a giveaway if you stay for a while. So just want to let you all know. So please introduce yourself in the chat. Where are you joining from? So my mom's here. That's nice. Thanks, Mom. Shout out you. Tony's here. Amanda. Anyone else here? Let me know. I don't want you guys to be shy. I need some discussions. I need some discussion. So please. Okay, we got it. Hey, Michelle. Where are you joining from, Michelle? Let us know. Hi, Amara. Thank you for joining. Hi, Anu. Hi, Tenny. Hi, Tony. Okay, we have a few people. Thank you all for joining. And as I said, there will be a giveaway a bit later on if you stay for a while. So today we're going to be doing a new YouTube live series, and we're calling it Reni Responds. My lovely intern Tennille thought of it, so thank you, Tennille. And Reni Responds is basically a YouTube live series where I will invite guests to join me to answer some questions from my social media that I get asked pretty often. So in this installment of Reni Responds, I am inviting 3 content creators, and we're going to share our content creation journeys. And, I get this question all the time about why did I become a content creator? How can I become a content creator? Is it for everyone? What equipment do I need to start? I get a lot of questions about all of these things. So today my guests and I are going to dive into these questions and answer them all for you. And yeah, so I wanted to start off with a quick poll and ask you all, where are you in your content creation journey? So are you you are seriously considering becoming a content creator? Are you B, that you are flirting with the idea of becoming a content creator? Are you C, that you're not interested in becoming a content creator, you just wanted to join this live? Or are you D, that you are already a content creator? Let me know. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Soso. Hi, Abigail. Thanks for joining, guys. Okay, so let me know. Are you A, B, C, or D? A, you want to become a content creator. B, you kind of want to become a content creator. C, you are not interested in becoming a content creator. Or D, you are already a content creator. Okay. Okay, we have a good mix of people. Don't want to become a content creator, but you're still here. I love it. Thank you for the support. Okay, so I guess we have a good mix of people. So I want to make sure this is an interactive session. So make sure you ask your questions in the chat if you have them. We have a lot of questions that we already received. So I have kind of a script, but if you guys have questions, just leave them in the chat and we'll answer them. So the first guest that we have is Tosin. Tosin is an influencer marketing manager and a content creator. And I'm really excited to have her here. So let's bring up Tosin. Please welcome, Tosin.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you
Thank
doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you for taking your time. So the first, I wanted to just ask you to do a quick introduction of yourself and like what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tosin. I work as an influencer marketing manager, actually coordinator, at an influencer agency here in Toronto, Canada. I've also been a content creator for a couple of years now, and it's so exciting to be here. I'm always excited to share all I know about content creation and the influencer marketing industry. Glad to be here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rainy.
Thank you for coming. And Tosi, as I said, she works as an influencer marketing manager. So she knows both sides of the industry. So she can definitely share a lot of gems. Also, follow her on Instagram. I get so much knowledge, and she taught me to make sure that I review all my contracts as well. So make sure you follow her on Instagram, and her Instagram's on the screen right there. Okay, next we'll bring up Marina. Marina is an HR professional and a content creator. So, Marina, if you could please come on stage with us. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Reni.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. So excited to be here.
Thank you for joining. Could you please introduce yourselves to everyone?
Okay, my name is Marina Yeme Eteng. I am a HR professional. I work in recruiting. That's the hardest part of HR right now, just so you guys know.
Mhm.
And I run the YouTube channel called Marina Isiri out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Ooh, Saskatoon, nice. And what's your channel about?
So I share experiences about settling into life in Canada from the perspective of an immigrant, and just sharing information to make getting back into the workforce seamless for foreign trained professionals.
Perfect. So there are a lot of gems on your channel. I have watched quite a few videos, and I think you talk about a lot of different things, but all in the realm of lifestyle. So it's very informative, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate it. So all everyone, please help me welcome Marina, and thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Marina, for being here.
Thank you
So
very much.
our last guest that we will be having on is Nora. Nora is an event decorator and a content creator. And Nora actually is part of YouTube Black with me. That's how Nora and I met. So, can you please welcome Nora? Hi, Nora.
Hi, Reni.
How are you?
I am great. I'm actually happy to be here today.
Yes, I'm so
Excited.
happy to have you here. And could you please just maybe quickly introduce yourself? Tell us about your channel, please.
Well, my channel right now is basically about DIY and decor, budget friendly especially. So all about trying to show you the tips and tricks and different hacks you can do to maybe give a facelift to your home, your space, your office space, like whatever it is, but just everything craft, DIY and decor. And
Yes, and
some
we
from
can.
time to time, I always share some event decor, events that because I do events as well. Sometimes I share some event decor items on there as well.
Yes, lovely. And we can tell by your beautiful background that you definitely are an artsy person. I'm like, I need some help with mine. But yes, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate you. So we'll bring up everyone on stage now so that we can have our discussion. Again, everyone, if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the chat and we will discuss. So the first question that I want to ask everyone was if you could talk about how you got started as a content creator, when you started, and what keeps you going. So maybe I'll start with Tosi.
Hi. I started my content creation journey in, I think, 2013. Um, when I had no idea you could make money from it. I was just a blogger. It was just a passion. I was just writing whatever. And then fast forward to, I think, 2016, I found out you could actually make money from this. And so I started becoming more intentional, started attending content creation seminars here and there. And yeah, that's where it started. And I haven't looked back since.
Perfect. And so you are a part-time content creator. You are not a full-time content creator
Yes,
yet, right?
yes, correct.
Okay. And then Marina, how about you? When did you start and why did you actually start?
I started my YouTube channel, and that's like when I took creation seriously. I was on all the platforms, but I was in ghost mode, just observing and not putting anything out there. So YouTube was the first one I took seriously, and I started my YouTube channel in October of 2019. And the major reason why I started was because of the job that I was doing at the time. I was working in a school where I was meeting a lot of newcomers, and I watched so many foreign trained professionals stroll right into bad decisions. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could say something. But because of the job, there were some things I couldn't say to potential students on the job, right? And then 2 years after, that was in 2017, 2 years later, I started to meet some of these professionals who had made that bad decision 2 years ago, and some of them were in like really bad positions. So I felt if I'd said something 2 years ago, this person probably would have been in a better position. So that was like the final push for me to say, you know what, I'm just going to start anyway. And my first video went live in 2019. So that's why I started. What keeps me going? It's the success stories that I get now, and just the feedback that I get from people. And I'm sure we'd have opportunities to talk more about the details in that as the conversation goes on.
Yes, thank you. I love it. I feel like we started for similar reasons, just basically trying to help other people. And I know that you're also a working mom, so I guess we'll talk about that later on. But
Sure.
I'm sure a lot of people want to know how you balance being a mom and having a YouTube channel of how many people, thousand people. So I feel like we'll have a lot of questions about that. And
Sure.
Nora, how about you? When did you start your channel and why did you start and what keeps you going?
Okay, so there is a long and short answer to this, but I'll go with the short one. So I started in 2020, content creating after, of course, the pandemic, during the pandemic. But prior to that, I was a little bit very active on TikTok, but then I didn't have YouTube before then. So um, a lot of people in my inner circle thought it would make sense for me to move that to YouTube. And YouTube had also been something that my mom had encouraged me about a lot prior to her demise. But I decided to take it seriously in 2020. She passed in 2019, and then 2020 was when I felt like, okay, I needed to get this going because I felt like I had a lot that I needed to want to show people or teach people out there. So that's how YouTube came about, and so far so good.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I do see, and I think so. You just started in 2020, and now you have over 57,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm sure we want to hear a
Yeah.
lot about that. One question that I get asked pretty often is, "What equipment do I need to start a YouTube channel?" And Nora, I know you don't have. Well, how about you tell us what equipment did you start your YouTube channel with?
Well, I started my YouTube channel with a phone, and I'm actually still using a phone. I don't have a camera. I've never owned a camera before. Well, when I say camera, of course the phone has a camera, but I mean, like I only use my phone to do everything, as in from video recording to editing and uploading. I've been doing everything on my phone, and I'm still doing everything on my phone. And that was my biggest held back. Like I procrastinated starting YouTube for 7 years. I'm not even kidding because I kept saying, I convinced myself that I needed to buy a camera to do that. So from time to time, I would save up a little bit, I end up using the money for something else. So it just never, ever happened. So when I decided to start in 2020, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start with my phone. And lo and behold, the major excuse that helped me for 7 years was actually no excuse. Yeah, I just tell anyone around me that's looking to start, like, just get, if you have a phone and you have something to share that you feel like people would gain from it, just go ahead, record and share it, put it out there. So
Yes, I feel like a lot
that's
of
it.
people don't start, as you said, you didn't start for 7 years because, so I feel like a lot of people don't start simply because they feel like they don't have the equipment, but a phone is more than adequate, especially with the types of phones that we have right now. Mike and what type of phone did you start with actually? I would like to know, Nora.
Oh, I started with an iPhone Pro Max, iPhone 11 Pro Max.
Okay.
But before that, I was using an LG V20. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay. Oh, and so too. I actually so I would have never guessed that you record your videos with your phone. So that's amazing. What about you, Tosin? What do you use to? What type of equipment do you think that a beginner needs to start?
A phone.
A phone. That's it.
My very first video was with a phone. As time progressed, my dad got me a camera, so I was using that camera. But after a while, I started using my phone again, which is what I use now. But I use the back camera most of the time because it gives you more, like, a better quality. But yeah, if you can get a good phone, I think that's all you need, really.
Yes, I started with my camera because I already had it, but I didn't go out and buy one just simply because of YouTube. But how about you,
Yeah.
Marina? What about you? Where did you start off with a phone or a camera?
So I did start off with a camera, and the
Okay.
reason was because I wanted to shy away from starting because I had the same excuse, like I needed to buy a camera, and my husband went out one day and bought me a camera, like, here you go, excuse taken. So that's the only reason why I had a camera to start with. It was a Canon M100. I can't forget because I still have it. I use another Canon camera right now, but I've never had to record with my phone because I got that camera up front. So
Well, nice. Okay, so I like that we have a mixture of equipment that we started with. And BB says that wiping your camera really works, and it's so true.
true.
One day I was taking a story on, like I do like day in the life, so on my story, and this one person that I don't know responded to my story, and they were like, "Sis, wipe your camera," and I was like, I was a little like, wow, okay, but I have started doing that, and my videos are much better now. So
I recorded a full video, Reni, and I had blurry lenses.
yeah.
That's the worst nightmare. But content creators have been there. I can relate.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about the struggles. I'm sure we've all faced lots of technical difficulties
Oh
and
my
things
goodness.
like that. But other than the phone, what else do you need? Do you guys have tripods? Do you have lighting? What else? Maybe Marina?
So I did have to get additional lighting because the part of my house where I started to record from then, I didn't get direct sunlight from the window. So I needed additional lighting. Of course, with that, you had to get a tripod. So it was my camera, the light, the tripod, and then an editing software. I started with Shortcut. It's very beginner friendly. The interface is very easy to use. But I found that as I went along, some of the things I wanted to do, Shortcut restricted me. So I moved from Shortcut to Filmora, Wondershare, and then I use the Filmora Wondershare Pro now. So yeah, you need an editing software where, again, if you're going to do that on your phone, there are many options that you can use, mobile softwares that you can use, and then something for your thumbnails, maybe like a photo editing
Hmm.
software, and with that, you're good.
And what photo editing software do you use for your thumbnails?
I use the Canva Pro now.
Okay, me too. And I feel like Canva, even without the pro, like Canva itself, it's a great platform, And
I did start off with the Canva without the Pro, but I
yeah,
started to see some people's thumbnails. I'm like, I
yeah.
don't have that in mind. And then so I went back and saw that some of them were in the Pro version. So I'm like, we're doing this. I want all
Yeah.
of that Pro.
Yes. What about you, Tosin? What did you do you use Canva? What do you use for your editing software as well?
I use Canva for my thumbnails. For editing, I use Final Cut Pro. I've been using it for as long as I can remember, and I just love it. That's what I use. So yeah, I do have a tripod. I have a ring light. I have soft boxes. I have the whole shebang.
Mhm.
But most of the time, I find that the best videos are with daylight, like just the good old big window with the
Mhm.
sun, which is why I don't like winter because you
I
don't have as
know.
much sunlight. But yeah, I would say just make use of what you have. Clean your lenses, like Bibi said. Get window that's bright, and if you can't get that, you can get like this really small ring light that is sold on Amazon that is all over TikTok. You can get that just to improve like the quality of your videos and just keep going. Really, I think consistency is the greatest tool. So yeah.
Facts. And I will say that I started off with just my camera and my tripod and a big window. And honestly, like now I have a mini studio here, and I feel like, we're dealing with all these lights is very stressful. So I prefer that big window, to be very honest. But it's just not practical because it takes up my whole. It's like in the middle of everything and it's loud there. But I would say if you guys have a window, if you have a phone, and if you have iMovie, you're pretty much good to go. You don't even need iMovie. You can start on your phone. There are so many phone editing apps. What about Nora? What do you use to edit?
So for editing, I started off using iMovie and InShot, and then I moved on to KineMaster. However, I just recently discovered CapCut. It has everything and it's for free. So if you're on the budget friendly side and you're not looking to paying for anything, CapCut has everything. Like I'm still shocked at how much this app has and how much it covers for free without the watermark or anything else. And
Oh.
we're talking about ring lights and stuff. I got my first ring light after I think my fourth video, but before then I was basically chasing the sun. Like I'll basically drive to where there's sun to actually do a video. But when I started focusing mostly on, I have a whole story on that. You don't even want to know. I almost gave up on YouTube because of that. But when I started doing like DIYs, I realized I actually did need like the ring lights because sometimes I'll be shooting in the middle of the night, and I actually did need that because you want the lights right on there. So I think it all boils down to what you're doing. If you're doing sit down videos, you have a big window, you don't have the money to afford a ring light just yet, you can definitely take advantage of the summer and just batch film.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm taking notes. So
Or
CapCut. I'm gonna be looking into
yeah.
CapCut ASAP.
For my thumbnails, I actually was using Canva. I signed up for the pro, but for some reason I've been so hooked on Fonto. I use Fonto, combination of Fonto and InShort, and that's what I've been using to create my thumbnails for the longest time right now. But Fonto is free. It's perfect. It has all kinds of fonts. Like it basically will cover everything when it comes to fonts compared to Canva. But I still use Canva though. not for thumbnails, for other things.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, for other things, but
so you use Canva, the free version, and then Fonto for your
no,
thumbnail.
I use the paid version for Canva, but I use it for something else,
Oh,
like for
okay.
business and everything else. But I used to use it for my thumbnails, but since I discovered Fonto, I use a combination of Fonto, PixArt, and InShort to do my thumbnails now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Another question that I get all the time is, do I need a niche to start? And I feel like, it's a tricky question. I know Tosin talks about this quite a bit, but when I started, I think not having a niche was one of the main reasons why I did not start, actually, because I was like, I want to talk about finance, I want to talk about fashion, I want to talk about career, I want to talk about this. Like, how do I make that into a niche? So I want to ask all of you, and then I guess I created my niche by calling myself Reni the Resource, and it was like, I'm sharing resources about all these topics with you. So I want to ask all of you, do you think that you need a niche to start? And we'll start with Marina.
I would say yes and no. Yes, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a search engine. So people come there searching for something. And what I tell myself is, what is somebody going to type into YouTube that my video shows up? That's how I narrowed down what it was I wanted to talk about. Like there's so many things I want to talk about on my channel that I have not started talking about, but I knew that I needed one area to get in. And then after that, I can, my community starts to grow, I can diversify and start to introduce other things. No, in the sense that you don't really need to stay hung up on, if I don't have a niche, I'm not doing it at all. Sometimes take a chance, just put out that first video. From the response you get from your community, you'll be able to narrow something down. So it works both ways, right? It works either ways.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. What about you, Tosin? What do you think?
I agree with Marina. You shouldn't wait till you get till you have a niche before you start. You can figure things out as you go. And I would say a niche, at least you're known for something when you have a niche. However, I think everybody should diversify their content, because number one, at least coming from an agency perspective, it opens you up more to more paid partnerships, to more paid sponsorships. You'll be shocked that the brands in your lovely niche do not have budgets to pay you. So that's one. Number two is, I've noticed, in at least like in my journey, that aside from what people gain from whatever you're teaching or whatever your niche is teaching them, they get this bond, they create this bond with you when you begin to share other aspects of your life. They feel like they know you, they feel like they're a part of your community. Your community is stronger when people know other things about you. This is not to say you should not have filter and share everything about your life, but but do share a bit, let people into your world, and just create a community, because at the end of the day, community is really what matters. You can have 500,000 followers, but maybe there are 500,000 trolls or 500,000 people who just want to know what's up in your life and don't really care. So focus a lot on community. Yeah.
Yes, that is so true. And if you start off with a niche, but you build that community, when you make content that is different from that initial niche, typically they're there for you, right, as a person. So they're going to support that other content that you're posting regardless. So yes, community is key. And how about you, Nora? What do you think? Do you need a niche to start? What are your thoughts?
I am behind Tosin and Marina on this as well, because I think probably who would have noticed that on my channel, I started off wanting to do everything. like not wanting to, but that is how I wanted my channel to be. So I was all about, okay, I'm not gonna niche down. I had topics on the different things that I wanted to do on YouTube, and I thought I'm gonna do them in rotating order. So this week I'll post about food, this week I'll do workouts, and next week I'll do DIY, and so on and so forth. And I had a lot of people telling me to just start off niching down, but I didn't feel like that was me. So I kept posting everything that I wanted to put out there, and somehow DIY and decor stuck because I saw like a lot of my audience were resonating more on that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you more of this because now this is what it seems like you like more of this. I still have people that enjoy my other content. So because of that, now I'm actually thinking about starting up a new channel. Well, I'm basically still going to be doing everything because I'm not going to be dishing down on this channel at all. So, but then that is just a pure case of not niching down when you start, from what Tosin and Marina just said. Just start off putting everything out there that you know you can do, and then see what sticks, and then you can start thinking about niching down somewhere down the line. From that time, at least, you would have built some kind of community, a group of following on a particular maybe topic where you have an authority on, and then it's much more easier from there on. So
Do you
so no, you don't need a niche to start.
Yeah. Have any of you found that maybe one video from a niche, from one of your niches blows, and then like only when you post videos about that topic, then your content as well? Because as many of you know, I have a video that has like maybe 400,000 views, I think. And that is about skincare. And of course, skincare is not the biggest part of my channel, but I find that like when I do skincare videos, they do well because a lot of the people who followed me are from that video. So have any of you faced this? Tosin's nodding her head. Yeah.
It happens to me all the time because I have like different interests too. So sometimes I would just try something new. Like when I got married, I posted one video and it's like, oh, now everybody wants marriage content. And I'm like, no, but I'm not a marriage counselor.
That's not why we're here.
Be focused. That's not why we are here. But I noticed that that's what everybody wanted. But I mean, I cannot be giving you. I'm a baby in this marriage. It's just 3 months, so I don't have so much to give. I don't have so much to give you. So I just started like incorporating it into my strategy instead of making all my content about wedding, get married, have babies, and all of that. I would, post maybe one wedding video today. Tomorrow I go back to my skincare that you do me for. Next year I post something else, just so it's not. At least I'm guaranteed that you will watch my marriage video. But please watch this one too because this is the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, like I said, community is important. When I introduced that aspect of my life, it just made people resonate more with me. And I noticed that even my skincare content now is getting a lot more recognition than before because now they feel like they are really a part of my community. They know a bit more about me than before. So yeah, it happens all the time. Just keep going.
Has anyone else faced that when one video blows and then those are the videos that are getting views, but nothing else is? Not that they're not getting views, but like people are here for the whatever that one video that blew. Yeah.
Yeah, I faced that. When I talk about immigration content, like how to settle into life here, I find that a lot of people have questions. They want to talk more about that. And then I have another set of people, because right now I feel like my audience is in 2 broad categories. The people who are here for the immigration conversations and the other set of people who are here to just see me live my life. Like I never knew people get excited about watching other people do dishes until I started getting comments like, you tell us a lot about life in Canada. We want to see you live life in Canada. So that's when I introduced the vlogs. And then along the line, I started having conversations with my husband. And that's what everybody wanted to say. I'm like, hola,
I love those
guys.
videos, actually.
You guys,
I love them.
This is not a couple's channel. Calm down. The man has a life. He has work. Both of us can be here. We have young kids. So if I'm here doing content, somebody has to watch the kids. And both of us can't record all the time, right? So I had to find that balance, like know when to bring him on, know when to do about the vlogs, and then know when to concentrate on the immigration and career and school related videos. So like Tosin said, is finding that balance and not get sucked into every suggestion the community makes, because as lovely as it is to have a community, if you follow every suggestion that comes, you're just going to be you get into a rabbit hole, right?
Bruh.
It's
I
not
was,
sustainable to
it's
meet
not,
the needs of thousands of people. So finding
People.
that balance is key.
it's not sustainable at all, at all, at all. Because as you said, people are like, "Oh, I want vlogs," and then I post a vlog and it doesn't do well. I'm like, "Why are you guys asking for this content?" So I've learned to, yes, you can take people's suggestions, but it's not everything. Make sure you do what works for you, not for everybody else. I also
True.
Saima asked, when is a good time to start introducing a new niche? So, for example, if I started with finance and I want to also cover fashion, how established should my one niche be before I introduce another? Does anyone want to take this one on?
I can try.
Okay.
I can try from my own experience. So when I started off, I didn't start off. My first video was cooking, was food. It wasn't about DIY. My second video was workouts. It wasn't DIY either. Third video was still food. So I think my first DIY was around my fifth or sixth upload, and then I think basically asking a question to say to introduce a new niche would be after say you've put at least 10 videos of a particular niche of on a particular subject under your channel. Let me put it that way. I don't want to start calling each one a niche or something. So of a particular subject, say you have fashion, lifestyle, vlog, I'd say put at least 10 of something about fashion and see how it does, and then you can start thinking, okay, should I switch this up? And depending on how your audience have responded to those 10 videos, you can always check your analytics. YouTube is really good with that. You have a good idea of whether or not to add some more on that, or if it's time for you to maybe do something that is close to that particular subject or do something else. So I feel like for me, I would say 10 is a minimum. You can do more than that, but 10 should be at least what you should have on your channel. You can't just have 3 videos on a certain subject and feel like, okay, I have to switch up my niche right now. So, but put yourself on 10. Some people say 52, but I'll say 10 videos. So yeah, so I'll say 10 videos. 52 is the whole year if you're posting once a week. I post once a week. So I say 10 because that's at least 2 months of post, 2.5 months of posting. So I would say do what you feel, depending on your posting frequency as well. Let me put it that way. Depending on your posting frequency, I feel like you should, if you're posting every day, of course, you have way more videos. So you want to weigh that, but I would say 10 minimum. Yeah. 10 videos is a lot.
Okay. How does anyone else agree, disagree?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I agree, but I have something to add, and that is it depends on what that first niche is. If it's lifestyle, because lifestyle is a little bit of everything. You can create 3
Yeah,
lifestyle videos,
broad.
and your next video can be finance. But if your first video is finance, that first niche is finance, you cannot create 3 videos and the next video you're cooking ogbono soup. No, it's not. I mean, you can put that on your stories. You can put that on your stories for Instagram, for example. You can put that on your story so that at least you are showing people that, oh, this is a part of my life. I teach you finance, but I mean, I eat. So this is how I cook the food I eat. But if it's a niche you're trying to establish, if it's a niche you're trying to establish, you have to be strategic about it. Like your niches should not be so far apart. And I'll give you an example. So there's this influencer that was known for beauty content on YouTube. She used to create the best beauty videos, aesthetic videos, quality, beauty, everything. And then after a while, she stopped posting. And everybody's like, where's this chick? Where is she? And then she comes back. And my sister's in the gym.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And everybody was like, whoa. And that's another issue with being a content creator. Everybody feels like they have a say in your life. They feel like you have to take their opinion. We made you, we gave you a platform, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But the thing is, yes, she was a beauty creator, but now beauty doesn't give her joy. She finds joy in the gym. However, that shock came because they are so parallel. Like from beauty, you have giving us lipstick videos. Now you're carrying something in the gym. It's so broad, and I actually understand the shock from her audience. If it was me, I would have advised her to introduce it slowly and not just give them that shock immediately. just so the transition is easier for them. But at the same time, we also can't blame her because she actually explained that going to the gym and all that was great for her mental health. Like she wasn't finding joy in beauty anymore. So at the end of the day, you just have to put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Don't just give them the shock.
Yeah. One thing I learned from my YouTube partner manager, she told me to maybe, if I want to introduce a new niche, to merge my existing niche with the new niche video. So if I want to start introducing travel, for example, instead of just doing like a travel video, I can say, here's how I spent $1,000 traveling in Dubai. That's not realistic, by the way. Sorry, that number makes no sense. But she said basically merge them together. So it's like you get a bit of finance, you get a bit of life travel, and then you can start doing more travel videos as you introduce people into that niche. So that would be another way that maybe you can start. Okay, great questions, everyone. Keep them coming. And remember, I'm giving away a gift card. So I will announce it in a bit, what you need to do in order to get that gift card. Another question that we got was, do you prefer one social media platform over the others? And I know Tosin has very strong thoughts about this, so I want to hear from you. First of all, tell us what platforms you're on, okay?
So I'm on, I think I'm on all the platforms. I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on everything. But for various reasons, my best right now is TikTok, because the possibilities are endless. Number one, the barrier to entry is so low, is bottom barrel. Like you can go in there with, like, I know somebody who got 3,000 followers in a day, and her videos, they were even videos, they were carousels on Instagram that she puts into a video and put music, and it went viral. So TikTok is where it's at, as far as I'm concerned. You don't have to form, you don't have to wear makeup, you don't have to have the best clothes, just be yourself. Just, if I wake up, you don't have to brush your teeth. Wake up, pick your phone, do a video, post it.
Tosin, that was shade to Instagram right there. You don't have to wear
Yes,
makeup though.
you don't.
Nah, shade to Instagram, shade to YouTube, shade to everybody.
All of them. And
Yes.
I'm saying this because I've been on all the platforms for so many years, and I have labored, my friends. I have labored. And then I finally said, you know what, I'm not going to give this TikTok a try. And then I went on TikTok. I'm just there living my best life, having fun. I'm not even thinking of what I'm doing. And then I post this video. I go to bed. I posted it, I think, around 8 p.m. one day. I woke up the next morning, 10,000 views. What did I post, my friends? I posted a collage of like 5 pictures that I've had on my phone since 2019. That's all. But it was transformation, showing my skin over the years. And I posted it. And now that video is on over 300,000 views. I have been on Instagram for years. Yes. I don't have any video that has hit 100,000 views. Go on TikTok, my friend. Go on TikTok.
Honestly, I feel you. I'm currently on Pinterest, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter, I don't count. That's just for fun. But the rest are, I'm like, TikTok, you can go viral like this. It's so easy to go viral. I swear, one of the first videos I got 1 million views. One of the first videos I dropped, I had like 100 followers, and immediately overnight, 2,000 followers. I was like, oh, you know how long it took me to get 2,000 followers on YouTube? That was pain. Okay, that was painful. I do like Instagram. I know everyone hates Instagram, but my community is really engaged. So I feel like I get great views on Instagram. But this YouTube, oh God, I even stopped. This week I didn't post. Next week I'm not posting because I'm gonna take some time and re-strategize because the algorithm is not favoring me. So I feel you. What about you, Marina? What platform do you currently like?
So I'm on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube. I am not on TikTok. Like, I don't know why I'm dragging my feet about that, but just listening to Tosin, I'm like, maybe time has come for us to reevaluate this decision because I'm not very active on any of them. Like, my hands are full. It's only so much I can juggle at the same time. But Instagram, I would say Instagram is bipolar. Like sometimes you think what you see is what it is, and then next thing, boom, the algorithm has changed, and you're wondering, like, okay, who did I offend? And I think YouTube is the worst. Like,
Nah,
one
YouTube.
day you feel like, okay, you have the visibility that you need, and another time you're like, okay, is there something over my head? Like, can nobody see this? It's just really hard to keep up with all of them, and the changing algorithm it's just
Yeah.
really hard to keep up with. So for me, I post my once a week video and go about my business. Like, if you watch it, that's fine. If you don't watch it, it's going to be there. It will be my e-journal. Years later, I'll come back and say, oh, this is what I used to do back in the
Yeah.
day. But right now, I really am trying not to stay hung up on those guys because my blood pressure is very important to me. And
Not the blood pressure. And Nora, I know that you have 100K on TikTok, you have 57K on YouTube, and I don't know how many on Instagram. But what platform do you prefer? Are there ones that you prefer over others?
So I'm going to first of all say what I prefer before I go any further. So I prefer YouTube. So this is
Ooh,
why I'm going to explain
hot
why.
take, hot take.
I'm going to explain why. So I'm currently on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. I only joined Pinterest towards the end of last year, and I still do not understand how Pinterest works, to be honest with you. So I'm actually surprised at how much I have 4,600 followers on Pinterest. I have no idea. People apparently like to watch certain things. So, but I just noticed that when I started getting a little bit more serious about posting there, because I was thinking, okay, if I'm posting on Instagram, I might as well, TikTok is it's short form. I might as well just post it on long form video. I might as well just post it on Pinterest as well, and that has been gathering views as well. So with Instagram, I haven't really been very serious about Instagram, but after YouTube, Instagram will be my second, to be honest. And I just started trying to get serious with Instagram and decided to try myself out and said, okay, I'm going to post every day for the next 30 days. So I started that from the start of this year, and I went from 2,000 something followers on Instagram to like 4,600 or something as we speak. So it's actually working with Instagram, but it's not growing as fast as I want, but that's fine. Why I say for TikTok, I still do the same thing. I just post also when I post on Instagram Reels, I repost on my TikTok. And just like Tosin said, you can go to bed one night and wake up the next morning and it's like, boom, I went from 1,500 followers in 1 month to over 100,000 followers on TikTok overnight. Like, it's still like, what happened here? But my issue with that is that I wish I could carry those views and those followers and put them on YouTube.
yeah.
Why? Because YouTube, yes, it may be hard to sometimes break through with YouTube, but once you do, and even if the views end up maybe slowly or dragging, YouTube over the long course of a period, I feel like there is more stability. One, and then second of all, YouTube is, like you said, it's an e-journal, and a video. Okay, let's put it this way: a video can blow up on YouTube 5 years from today that maybe today just had 100 views out of the blues. Like you don't understand the algorithm, but that would not happen on Instagram. That would not happen on TikTok. Why? Because the videos there are not that long. YouTube gives you that platform where you can actually teach step by step. Instagram, TikTok does not give you that that opportunity, and most of the videos are that short. So the followers on there have this this attention span. So everything there is like just passing. So by within the next 1 month, there's gonna be like over billions of short minute snippet videos that already passed. So the probability of a video coming back to blow up the likelihood is very low. Whereas on YouTube, people are going to be searching for something, trying to find answers to things and all of that. And because of that, your video that may not be performing very well in 2022 may blow up in 2025. You just never know. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then when it
facts.
does, you still get paid. You still get paid for that. So that's why I always go with YouTube. So I use all these other platforms right now to drive traffic to my YouTube. So I actually see on my analytics with YouTube where my traffic is coming from. I see people who are getting like traffic from Pinterest. I see traffic from TikTok. People actually come on there and comment, oh, I found you through TikTok. So that's why I'm actually still on all the other platforms, because I use them like some kind of a conduit to have people come over to my YouTube channel, basically. But YouTube is king for
Okay,
me.
I
So
agree with you on the fact that YouTube is consistent. I get around like 40,000 views on my YouTube every month, and like it's just consistent. Even if I don't post, I feel like I still get views. So it's a good, consistent, and it pays. That's the only one that actually like that the platform actually pays, which is why I like YouTube. But honestly, this algorithm is kind of stress. It's a little bit stressful. So I get you. I'm gonna read a few comments that we got because people are stressed by the platform. So, um, Abigail, ladies take notes, said she hates Instagram right now, and you need to sell your soul to Instagram before you grow.
I agree, Abigail.
I
um,
agree. I agree. I agree.
Miriam says that right now she's just using Instagram for her business. She's probably given up on Instagram. Very like it's a journal at this point. And Miriam has 30,000 followers on Instagram. So that's saying a lot. That platform is running creators off of it. I love Instagram to be honest, but I get what they're saying. And Christy says that Instagram is so confusing. She posted a reel that went viral and had 10 million views and brought her 10K followers. And you expect her to be
Wow.
balling with engagements, but no, new followers ain't engaging. And that's the thing. When you go viral on Instagram or on any platform, the followers come, they follow, and then they never look at your content again. So you know what I did? I started removing those followers. I actually don't care. I would have had a lot more followers if I had just left them, but honestly, I don't want them because they don't engage in any of my content. So, okay. One thing I want to talk about, we talk about, I'm a finance channel. I talk about money. So let's talk about the money, and let's talk about if YouTube or any of these platforms are actually bringing you some money. And I know that brands value creators that they think would represent their brand well. For example, I worked with Wealth Simple, for example, and I reached out to them to work. And when people reach out to me, they think that content creators are rolling in money and it's very easy. But I want to know from all of you, how is the money situation looking? I think I'm the only full-time content creator here, so I can give a bit about me. This month I actually made $10,000 on my platforms, but this was because I'll do a video on it, but this is not normal. Not normal. I will say that, like, on average, you're not going to make that much. So let's talk about it. Anybody want to share how? You don't have to share numbers if you're not comfortable with that, but is YouTube viable? Could it be a full-time job? Let's talk about it. Nora, you want to start off?
Sure. Yes, YouTube is viable, and yes, it can be a full-time job because girl, we talked. So yes, I'm hoping that eventually I'm gonna take this thing up like full-time job. Right now, I only post once a week, and I wish I could do more than once a week. What I didn't mention in my intro is I still work full-time. So and so having to work full time, I have a decor business I run, and there's YouTube, so it can be overwhelming. But yes, it can be a very, very viable full-time job. And YouTube income, as much as it can be very, very fluctuating, it is very rewarding. So just a tip, not a tip, basically, just a little bit of where I'm coming from. So from January of this year, it I've made like roughly 1,300 in January. Then February I made again another rough 1,300. It's like kind of consistent. Then in March I missed a week of posting, and I'm thinking, shoot, my income is gonna be low this month because I didn't post 1 week, because I only post once a week. So if you miss a week, it's like a lot for me. And lo and behold, March just ended. I was surprised that I didn't post. I missed a week and I made over 1,800. And I'm like, okay, YouTube is truly really, really unpredictable. Like I was actually shocked. I had to tell my friend, I'm like, look at me here crying or worrying about the fact that I missed a week of posting, and now the income for this month is way higher than the first 2 months. So that's just to say, like, if you put in the work with YouTube, you make the money, but other times don't beat yourself if you can't. But yeah, it's just something I feel is sustainable over time.
Yeah. And I wanted to clarify that the 10K is not from YouTube because YouTube barely pays me, okay? I just want to clarify that. The 10K is from brand deals and from like stuff. Yeah, brand deals, affiliate links and different things like that. And I'll do a whole video, but YouTube barely pays me anything. Like I could not live off my YouTube income at all. Okay, just want to clarify that. Okay.
With time though, with time
Yeah,
we
yeah.
live up, but you can't focus on AdSense alone. Yeah, that's one thing I also have to do. You can't focus on AdSense alone. All of what I quoted here is all strictly AdSense. Like I'm not even including like the other revenue from maybe selling templates that I make from my YouTube channel and other things. But that's only AdSense revenue that I was talking about. Like if you're focusing on
Yeah.
only posting videos on YouTube, it can be sustainable over time. The more videos you have, the more views, of course. I don't have too many videos just yet, but I believe that if it's something that you want to make as a long-term thing, like a full-time is like I want to go Reni's way eventually, and maybe post at least 2 to 3 times a week. I believe you have more opportunities of your videos maybe going viral or blowing
Yeah.
up. And even if it doesn't blow up, you have more people watching or have more views. Like the more videos you put out there, of course, the more money you make as long as you monetize. So
very true. And Tony, someone who's on the live right now, he sent me a video about this guy explaining how you can make money on YouTube. And the guy was saying basically you need to post regularly, and he gets about 2,000 views. I mean, 2,000. He gets 100,000 views per video. So of course he's getting paid quite a bit, you know. So it's about the consistency and growing, but it's hard, you know. It's not an easy thing to do. Before we go into both of you, Marina and Tosin, Abigail said that a lot of YouTube gurus say that posting once a week no longer cuts it, and to grow and gain an income. Is that true? I think that it is kind of true, but I guess it depends on the type of content. If you post once a week and the content is amazing and it's going viral, I think you can definitely make an amazing income. But for the average person, you would probably need to post more than once a week in order to do pretty well.
true.
Okay. How about Marina? Maybe you tell us about money. Is YouTube sustainable? Good source of income for you?
Yes, it is a good source of income. Even if I feel like I'm at the baby stages, I'm still at the baby stages when it comes to money with YouTube. Because I heard you say 10K in a month. I don't think I made up to 10K since my channel started. You know? So my eyes popped when I heard that for a bit, and I think a bit of it is where I am right now, the phase where I am in my life with other things away from YouTube. It's not sustainable right now for me to post more than once a week on YouTube. I'm not doing a lot when it comes to reaching out to brands. Like I've identified the kind of brands that I would love to work with for the kind of content that I create, but where I am right now, Reni, one part we didn't mention when you said I'm a working mom, I'm also a student. Like I'm taking courses. I'm going to be writing a professional exam soon. I'm going to become a chartered professional in human resources. So I'm in school as well. I have young children. I'm in school. I work full time. So there's only so much I can devote to YouTube right now. So I'm not doing as much as I should. I'm just doing bare minimum. The money that I'm making from brand collaborations are the brands that come to me. So I'm not even consciously reaching out to brands yet. So I know I can make a lot more than I'm making right now, but it's just not sustainable. I have to spread things out and let this phase pass first. Then I can devote more time to YouTube. But over time, like Nora said, it sure can become like a sustainable source of income. I'm just not there yet. I'm going to hold on to my day job while we're, while we're working towards the other part.
Yes. Okay. I didn't even know that you're a student. So I'm proud of you, honestly, because the fact that you're even able to sustain once a week with all of that on your plate. Yeah, literally. Because this is my full-time job, and I'm like, bruh, this is too much. So, okay. How about you, Tosin? What's the money looking like? And you know from both sides. So maybe you can tell us if it is sustainable as you see as a business person and from your channel. Yeah.
Well, as a content creator, YouTube, I don't even want to talk about YouTube because I don't want to talk about it. So let's imagine that I'm not on YouTube because zero. But when it comes to, I think a bulk of the money I've made from content creation has been from Instagram. The few that have come from YouTube, they just saw me on YouTube and then traced me to Instagram. It's not like because of my YouTube, because I've given up kind of on YouTube. I just post on YouTube now, just so that they know I'm alive. That's just it. I've just forgotten about YouTube, but Instagram and TikTok are my focus now, and that's because as someone who works at an influencer agency, I can see how much, like, those are the two key platforms brands are spending all of their marketing budget. And I mean all of their marketing budget. There is so much money to be made on TikTok and Instagram. In fact, especially TikTok.
Yes.
Because Instagram is going in the route of Facebook. If you are here, you are listening, if you don't have a TikTok, open it today. Because I can see from the agencies I can see the trend.
Mhm.
And in a couple of years, what Facebook is today is what Instagram will be. So open your TikTok. A lot of the money I've made has been from Instagram, mostly them reaching out to me. I used to pitch brands a lot, and the more brands you pitch, the more no's you get. And it just got to a point. I mean, I'm getting better, but I'm very attached to my craft. So when you tell me no, it feels like you are saying I am not good enough. So I just stopped reaching out to brands because the no was beginning to affect my mental health. And I was like, you know what? Thank God I have a full-time job. I'm not going to sell my soul on this. I'm just going to have fun and just whatever comes out of it, we move, right? We move.
Yeah.
So I stopped reaching out to brands, and then different brands started reaching out to me. I started saying no a lot as well, because if you take a lot of free work, especially, you are spending time that you can spend on other things. It's not
Preach,
if you are
yes.
if you are just starting out, you can take a few free jobs to build your portfolio if you're starting out. If you are like, maybe you just started yesterday, 300 followers, I mean, sis,
Gifted collaborations, right?
gifted collaborate. You can do it for maybe a few months, but after a while, it doesn't cut it anymore, because you're spending money, you're buying camera, you're doing this. Especially if you are not in. I mean, we are privileged in Canada. There's always light. If you're in a country like Nigeria where you have to buy fuel, pay for generator,
And
all
data.
those things, data, and if you're extra and you're on Instagram, you get makeup artists.
Yeah.
You don't have, yes, you are basically giving the brand money. So just focus Instagram and TikTok. I've not made anything from TikTok because I just started on TikTok, but I feel like it's coming. It's coming.
Trust me, girl, you're hilarious. But okay, you said a few things I want to touch on. Free collaborations. I don't know. I am not a fan of them. I am not, because I feel like you're adding so much value, and you have to think of it like this: if this brand were to hire, like if the brand was to hire someone to do what you do, they would have to pay a photographer, they would have to pay a videographer, sometimes they would have to pay a makeup artist, they would have to pay a creative director. Like there's so many people that they would have to hire. You can accept PR from people. PR is public relations, basically like free. They'll send you stuff in the hope that you will post. I accept PR. If brands want to send me PR, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
But I'm not like there's no obligation for me to post, right? And usually I do post because I'm happy to receive it. But I feel like gifted collabs are a no for me, at least at this point, at this stage.
Yeah.
Before, I feel like I accepted like 1 or 2 gifted collabs, but honestly, I don't know. I would rather, if you're in the skincare niche, for example, I would rather use a product that I already use and that I already have at home, create some content with that instead of a brand sending me something. And, that's just my opinion, but I don't know.
Especially when it's something that you do not even need. Like, I understand gifted collab if it's a brand that you value. I, for one, will accept that if it's something, okay, this is a brand I really, really like, I will accept that. But if it's something you're like, okay, what do I even need this for? And you're just giving me the gift to do a video, which would take forever to edit. I'm like, nah, thank you. Yeah, my first collab, they raised the bar so high. I was shocked. Like, that was my first collab last year. And then ever since then, it's just opened my eyes, just made me not want less.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even expect that for a first collab. I was shocked. Like, it was Cricut. They sent me the Cricut machine, everything. They sent me the press, everything. I thought, okay, it was just about, I was happy because I've been saving up to buy a Cricut.
It's expensive.
However,
too, right?
they told me, and then they told me, oh, we're going to actually pay you on top of this. And I was like, and it's in US dollars. I'm like, okay. And I was, so for me, they raised the bar. And then they came again for a second time. I thought, okay, I was just going to use the machine to send me. Like, no, it's for our new machine. We're sending you the new machine. I'm like, okay. Yeah, this is one of them. I have the other one, the other side. I'm like, please send. But they raise the bar so high that ever since I'm just like, okay, if someone is like just gifted collab and then it's just something, I'm like, okay, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like these companies have showed me that they can actually do more.
Yeah.
Ask for more, because that's, yeah, just ask for more basically.
Yes. But
Yeah.
obviously at that $300 rate, at 300 follower range, I get what Tosi's saying. When you have 300 followers, no one's paying you, to be very honest. So
But another thing is you also have to be careful. Even at $300, it also depends on your niche. If you are like a skincare person, for example, and I learned this the hard way. If you are a skincare influencer or content creator, for example, you have to be very careful not to get too excited, because capitalism is real. They will send you so many products, and because you're so excited, you want to try them, you want to be the first person to talk about them, because people want to follow you to know what's new in the industry. And if you're not careful, your skin is very delicate. You're putting everything. Before you know it, your skin is worse than you started. Yes, you're telling them, you're telling people all this. Their skin is getting better, but yours is getting worse because you are trying every single
Everything.
skincare on the planet.
Playing the guinea
So,
pig.
yeah, exactly. So you have to be very careful. And I learned this the hard way. My husband, we weren't married then, but he tell me, "See, don't let us start spending all our income when you're 50 on surgery because you've destroyed your skin now. Please." So I had to take a step back, and I stopped like gifted skincare collabs. If you want to send me PR, fine. When you eventually send it, all my friends, the idea in the comment section, they come to my house.
facts. My mom, yeah, facts. My mom takes all my skincare because I'm like, I can't be putting all these things on my face, honestly. Like, I'll try a few and ones that are not, like all these acids that I was trying before, destroying my skin. I have horror stories, but I get what you're saying. And you also said, I think you were emphasizing that TikTok is a great place to focus your attention. I agree. The collabs that I have been getting are on TikTok. I have like 11,000 followers on TikTok, and I signed a deal for $3,000 for one TikTok. So I feel like that is like, there's money to be made in these.
Also, brands are beginning to treat TikTok like a search engine. So, which is why I would say, no matter what, just have a presence on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because people go to your Instagram from TikTok, they go to your YouTube from TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok.
Yes.
Is their Google now. So
It's all
be on TikTok.
interchanged.
If you don't take anything else, be on TikTok.
Thank you, Tosin. Thank you. I receive it.
Okay, and that
She's speaking to you.
Yeah, that actually brings me to the next thing. I'm going to be giving away a gift card to whatever store anybody wants, if they have an online store. It's one person's going to win. You just need to comment on my most recent Instagram post about one takeaway that you've learned from this live. But we're going to keep going for a little bit longer. So make sure you go on my Instagram and comment one takeaway that you've learned. Okay, so let's continue. I know, Tosin, you mentioned mental health and how there are struggles that come along with being a content creator. So I wanted all of us we've talked about the good, we've talked about the money, but can we talk about the bad or the lows that maybe sometimes happen when it comes to content creation? Like, are there any struggles that you faced in this journey? I will say for me, one that it's like the criticism that people have on your life. I don't really care about most things. Like 99% of things don't really faze me, but some things that people say to you, oh my goodness, especially like the racist people. I want to fight. I actually want to fight. So I'd like to know, has there been anything for you guys that is a struggle or a challenge that you face in this content creator journey?
Oh, I can go with this one. Wait, remind me again, how many more hours do we have on this live? Just so I know where to stop. Oh, okay. I can start with the challenges first. So like I said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a full-time worker, I'm a student, and then I do content creation. So that in itself is already a struggle for me. But thankfully, I have a very, very solid support system there. Like my spouse is amazing. Like you guys don't see the half of what Mr. Eteng does for me. That's the truth. I'm here right now. It's a Saturday morning. He's downstairs keeping the kids engaged so I can do this. For things as simple as that, like there's a lot of work that he takes off me so that I'm able to focus on when I have to edit, when I have to do school. So basically my day looks like get off work at 5, do school, do YouTube, edit videos or reply emails and things like that. And before you know, it's time for bed. So he holds it down while I'm able to do all of that. And then the criticism on YouTube, I would say I've had it fairly good. My community is very good. Like, I have a very solid community who, somebody goes to say something negative in one of my comments, and before I even see it, I already have people tackling them like, no, we don't take that here. You can't do
Yeah.
that here. I'm like, go girl, yes, do it. Help me tell them. One particular one that stands out was when I put out the video of my family citizenship ceremony when we became Canadian citizens last year. And I had so many people come on that video to tell me, oh, go home. Or another one that fell off the banana boat. I didn't even know that was a thing until I started to read, like, what does that mean? And sometimes people always say, no, you be the bigger person, don't say anything. I think there's a time and place for finesse and class. Other times, we are going to go buzz on it. If you can be stupid, you don't have exclusive right to madness. So on some of those videos, I tackled the people back. And really, guess what happened? Some of those people went back and deleted their comments.
As
So
they
they
should.
know exactly what you're doing. The trolls know what they're doing.
Good.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
time and place to ignore. But for those ones, I'm like, no, you're not getting away with this. Especially if you're going to come at me, come correct. You don't
Come
even have
correct,
information.
please.
You don't even understand the difference between the different immigration classes. I'm not your elementary school teacher. That's not my job to educate. Go and read. Read yourself.
Energy. We love it. We love
So
it.
yeah, sometimes I give it back, but I'm so grateful for my community because before I even have to say anything, my community is already tackling some of those people. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sip and watch this unfold.
Yes. Honestly, one thing, my block list on Instagram is maybe like 300 people deep. And I used to not block anyone because I felt, oh, blocking is so mean, I don't want to block anyone. But now, block every day, I swear, every day, block, block, block. I don't care. I actually don't care anymore. How about you, Nora? Any challenges you faced on YouTube or on any platform?
Well, I'll speak mostly for YouTube. I haven't. Well, my community has been fairly good, to be honest. Like, I haven't really, when it comes to comments, though, they've been fairly good or really nice. Sometimes too nice, if I can put it that way. That I started looking out for. Like, I really wanted to get like a back comment. Like, I was looking forward to getting a back comment. And I originally got one just recently, like after 1.5 years on YouTube. I got one recently, and the lady was basically sent a whole paragraph. Like, I'm someone that shares a lot. Like, I'm always willing to, like, if I know something, I'm willing to want to share. Like, okay, if you need help, ask me. I'm gonna try to help you to the best of my knowledge and ability. And this lady comments on a post, and she was like, "Oh, this DIY is deceptive. None of these items are in the Dollar Tree, and blah blah blah." So I'm lying that I got the items from DIY, from Dollar Tree, is what she was saying. And then she had like a whole paragraph. And that she spent a lot of money. Now she's just wasted her money and whatsoever. So I was trying to want to answer this lady, like, oh, I'm sorry that. Then I noticed that I had a pop up. You know how you get the banner thing from YouTube. And I noticed lady she's gone around and posted the same comment on three of my other videos. So in my mind now, it's like she's not actually looking for a solution. She's like, why are you posting this? So I just replied her. I was like, I'm sorry if you do not know how to do something that. It doesn't mean that I'm lying. Like, the video shows Dollar Tree, me picking the items in Dollar Tree. So I don't even know what else I could say to that. But of course, some people in my community actually responded to her as well. I responded what I could respond on there and basically left it. And I don't even know if she's deleted the comment or not, but that was just like one of her. For other things that have been like a struggle for me with YouTube, the first year I was really excited, pumped and everything. So I didn't miss a single week. I didn't miss a single week of posting. Because I made a promise to myself that I was going to do this thing for a year. I was going to post once a week for an entire year. If it doesn't work, then I'll quit. That's what I told myself. So I didn't miss a single week of posting. In December of 2020, I actually posted twice. I didn't even know how I did it, but burnout is real. I'm going to put it that way, because December being the month on YouTube that advertisers pay the most, I wanted to make the most of that period. So I was posting like twice a week, and it did show an impact. I did see that, yes, if you post a little bit more than once a week, it does make a difference, because I think it was right after that was my 6-month mark. So it was right after that, December of 2020, that my channel like skyrocketed. Like, I had a couple of videos that went viral that time, and I was like, oh, okay, but I couldn't keep up with posting twice a week and work and decor, all of that thing. But yes, and then there's what I'll call there's a creative dry. There's a period that you're just gonna feel like critically low. You have like your content idea, calendar, and everything is all there, but just getting yourself up and setting that place up and doing that video is a hassle.
Yeah.
Like, it's a struggle. It's a real thing. So I was just trying to tap in from where I had all that energy and everything for that first year, where I didn't miss a single day, a single week. I was excited to post and everything. So I was trying to pull from that because it was a struggle. But you have times like that, and you just have to go back to ask yourself your why. Because I'm like, there are days I don't want to go to work, but I still get up and go to work. So if this is my business, I want to take this as my business. So that's where I kind of switch my mindset. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not just doing this for fun anymore. I want this to be a business eventually. If I can get up and go to work every day, even days that I don't feel okay, I don't feel well mentally, I don't feel well physically, I have to pull myself and go to work. What more of this that has to do with you? You're your own boss. Push yourself, motivate yourself, get out of that rut and do what you have to do. But yeah, other times you can't push yourself, and that's perfectly fine. And that's where I missed a couple of times, like starting this year, that I said I missed a week of posting. My head wasn't just not there. It was not there. Like, I tried, it wasn't just work. It just wasn't working. So I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna take this week and just lay back and not do anything. And it helped a lot. So sometimes just take that break if you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I feel you on that. Like, there are moments that you're really high and you're like, I can record 10 videos today. And then there's moments where you're like, nah, I'm not doing anything. I feel that quite often, actually. So I like to ride on those highs. So a question that somebody asked was, how do you effectively batch create content? So Marina, I'm guessing that you batch create your content because of your huge busy schedule. So could you tell us how you actually approach that?
So I use my weekends and during the summer when the sun is out for longer after work. That's how I do that. For the vlogs, I record them and put them maybe like out 2 weeks later. I really wish I could show more things that happen in real time, but it's not sustainable. So for the sit down videos, I can record 2 videos at once. Like, record one video, maybe change my top or change the color of my lipstick, and record the second one. And then for the videos that my husband and I do together, that one takes a lot more planning because it's coordination of schedules. And we have to now figure out what can we do to keep our kids engaged so that they don't keep interrupted. I don't know how many times you guys have seen some of my videos where you see people's heads popping at the back of the stairs because they get tired and like, when is this over? Mommy, are you live again? I get that all the time. So it's a lot of planning. And yeah, I record as many that I can record per time. And then for the vlogs, I just record them as they go and bring them out maybe like a week or two after it has happened.
Okay, nice. And especially when I was working full time, batch content creation was it was everything. So what I would do is I would actually record on a Saturday. I would record four videos. On the Sunday, I would edit those 4 videos, and then I would schedule them out for the rest of the month. And I feel like if you can batch create, it'll make it more sustainable than actually trying to record a video every single week. Because I know some people try to record every week, and I don't really get how.
It's too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Yeah, it's too much. How about you, Tosin? Do you batch create?
It's the only way to live. Yeah, I do. I batch create. And there's some times that I can't do this. I just do not have the mental energy to do this, so I just won't. But which takes me again back to TikTok because TikTok is so low entry, like low effort. There are some times that I batch create. I have so many sitting down in my draft, but there are some times that maybe something is trending, and I know that TikTok trends go really fast. In 3 days, this trend will be over. Immediately, I can just stand up and do it because it's so. Sometimes I'm even lying on my bed and with the phone, and I just film it because I know that nobody's going to judge me for how I look. Which brings me, I know I didn't have the opportunity to say this when we talk about mental health, but I just want to mention it because I feel like mental health is not spoken enough about when it comes to content creation. And for me, I don't really get so many trolls. I don't really get so many negative comments. Maybe it's because I'm still small in this thing. But I feel like my greatest troll is myself. Mentally, before I put anything out, I I dissect. Is it good enough? Do I look well? Is my face this way? Are people going to judge me that now I have one pimple? I always tell them about skincare now. A pimple that just popped up. Is am I disgracing my family? Is this video going to have 5,000 views? Oh, I posted this video. It has only 2,000 views. I thought people would like it. Oh, now I'm talking about marriage. Am I talking about marriage too much? Are people? And then when I also see negative comments on other people's posts, like I'm scrolling and I see one post where somebody's talking about, why is it that I follow this influencer for finance, but now that she has a baby, all she talks about is her baby. And then I start thinking, oh my God, am I talking too much about the new things in my life? Should I dial it down a little bit? I fight myself mentally a lot. I need to start therapy, which is another thing I need to advise. If you're starting content creation, I think you should you should have a therapist. And but my husband is my current therapist because he's the one that keeps, because I have to share that, because if I don't, sometimes he calls me, I know you're thinking about something, what is it? And then I tell him, and then he tells me, you know what? Me, I like it, so post it. If I'm the only one that likes it, are you not happy that I like it? And so I just do it. So whatever it is, I just feel like your mental health is really important and you need to hold that really dearly.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's very true. It's like you're your own worst critic, right? It's like you're judging yourself before anyone else gets the chance to even judge you, which I think is one reason why people who are more successful are because they don't even care. You just put it out, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Obviously, it's reassuring when people like it, but we have to be, I think if you want to be a content creator, you have to be kind of okay with the fact that sometimes people may not resonate with the content. Sometimes you may get a hate comment or two, and it's okay. It's literally, it's okay. It is what it is. Like, yeah.
Reni, and I think we should start to get more comfortable with taking breaks. Sometimes the pressure of, oh, I'm going to lose money, or I'm going to lose this, or I have to work with this brand. We don't realize how much pressure it puts on us as content creators. I'm getting more comfortable with just putting out a community post to say, you know what, guys, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm just going to step back and take a break. Thankfully, people understand, maybe because I have my hands full. So everybody gets it when I say I need to take a step back. Like, this year started on a very low note for me. I was struggling a lot with a lot of things. Like, that feeling of I should be doing more. There's so much more I can do. There's so much more I should be doing. I'm putting in this much effort and I don't see commensurate reward. Sometimes it can be very paralyzing, just knowing that you're doing this much and you're not seeing the result. And then, like, all of that feeling, struggling with all of that was not bad enough. Boom, both my kids came down with COVID. They had to be home for almost 2 weeks because they had to be away from school and had to be cleared before they could go back. So put all of that together, and I was still working and school didn't take a break, so put all of that together. One day I sat on the mic. I don't think if this happened to two people, one of them is going to die, the other one is going to be insane. Like, how am I doing this? So of course I took the break, like stepped back and said, what can wait right now? So I find that for me, YouTube is a constant trade-off. If I'm going to be filming videos for YouTube, the other thing that's taking the step back, can it wait? If it can wait, then let it wait. I think about it like an analogy I've shared on my channel before. It's like the glass and the rubber balls. At some point, when I know that, okay, there's a brand collaboration, I need to film this video, that video becomes my glass ball at that time. I can't drop it. What is going to be the rubber balls? Maybe that's not the day I want to go to my kids' school and watch them put their hands in paint and put it on paper. I enjoy their craft. It's all over my house, all over my fridge, but maybe it can wait that day. YouTube becomes my glass ball that day. Other times, my kids have COVID. YouTube is definitely the rubber ball. My kids become the glass ball, right? So it's knowing what is priority per time. And I saw a question earlier where somebody was asking, how do you find the balance? Technically, there is no balance. It's a trade-off. You're trading something off per time. I'm here right now. My kids are taking the back burner, right? The day I'm doing school, it's my I can't see a movie with my husband if I have a 6-page paper that's due. So something is getting traded off per time. It's just knowing what to focus your energy on per time, knowing what is important to me right now. That's what I will focus on. So balance really technically doesn't exist, because while you're holding on to something else is definitely suffering. So if you find that it's becoming too much to juggle all of it, put everything down, take a break, prioritize yourself. I find that that's what's working for me. When I have too many things to do, I lock everybody out of my room and just stay in and say, you know what, everything can wait. And guess what, nobody dies, it
Yeah.
waits. So
Yeah.
just know that for me, I am my first priority. I will not pour out of, nobody can drink out of an empty cup. So I have to
Empty cup.
prioritize that. Even though my cup is not full all the time, but there has to be something in my cup per time so I
Mhm.
don't run out, because the dryness is going to have way more consequences than taking the step
Yeah.
back to prioritize myself. So that's how I keep myself going.
Yes, that is so true. I think, yeah, I love the glass ball versus rubber ball analogy, and I think more people, as Miriam said, give yourself grace because you're only one person and you're doing this
True
all
that.
by yourself. Like, come on, nobody expects, and you're doing the job of like five people when you're a content creator. So nobody's gonna die if you don't post for a week or
Yeah.
two or three. Yeah,
Mhm.
Nobody's
and
gonna die.
yeah, nobody's. But I will say that sometimes your audience may not react well to you taking breaks, and that's okay. You know, they're
They're
not
going to
gonna
be
die.
okay.
They'll be
We'll be
okay.
fine.
In our YouTube Black group, I was speaking to one of the other Canadian content YouTubers who's part of the group, and he was saying that he took a vacation to Jamaica, and when he went to Jamaica, his followers were like, "Oh, this is what you're spending our money on. How can you take a?"
Wow.
Yeah, they were saying, how can you take a break like this and use the money that we paid for? We funded this trip and this. I was like, everyone needs to calm down at that point. So he was doing a Patreon. You know, Patreon's basically when you pay a little extra money to the creator just to support them. And yeah, he just stopped. He just stopped doing his Patreon because he didn't want people to feel entitled to him like that.
Mhm.
But I think he should have continued doing the Patreon and block that person. That is the solution that I would suggest. So everyone will have audacity, but you need to prioritize yourself and your mental health. Like, and no, that's too much. That's too much.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. One question I want to ask, that I can't remember who asked it, but Abiondu asked, how do you overcome fear of imposter syndrome?
Ooh, Jesus.
Good
Nora,
question.
Nora, do you want to start off?
Marina should start off.
Okay, I can. Imposter syndrome. So let me tell you guys where I think the biggest imposter syndrome that I've had to deal with so far in this journey was last year. So I was invited to host this. It was a global conference that was put together by the Open Door Society here. In fact, I was invited to be a speaker. So they invited different people just to share their journeys, and they asked us similar questions. So after I did my session, it was pre-recorded because it was during COVID. After I did my session, a week and a half later, they reached out and say, "Hey, actually, would you like to host the conference? Are you open to that?" I'm like, "Of course." So I hosted this conference that was watched from like multiple countries across the world, and it was a big deal. It was the first one, so it had a lot of publicity. And Marina was the host for 2 days. The week of the conference, the CBC was a sponsor of that conference. So they reached out to these conference organizers and wanted to talk to some of the speakers, like, hey, are there any speakers you can point us towards that we can just interview to get their, just to ask questions about the conference and to get to know about them. And the conference recommended me to CBC. So on the week of that conference, I was on TV, I was on radio. The mayor was tweeting about the interviews that I had. The mayor in Saskatoon was tweeting about my channel and what I'm doing for newcomers. And Reni, my face was everywhere. My kids were everywhere. Their teachers recognized them. Their teachers saw them on the news. Like my colleagues saw me on the news, and my face and the picture of everything I was doing was blasted on like the hub in my office. Can imposter syndrome get worse than that? I'm like, can I just dig the ground and enter? Like, it was scary. It was humbling. It was rewarding. Like it was a mixture of different feelings. And since then, I haven't been able to hide. It was surreal. Like I didn't believe. Some days I'll look, I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to be there. Because part of if you look at my bio on different pages, I say she discovered who she was and the game changed. It was because I had struggled a lot with like my self-worth, self-identity, and things like that. So to have me on that kind of platform like that with like thousands of people watching, it was scary. But for me, it just tells me that, look, you have to keep doing what you're doing. People are watching. People are watching. It's not just about you. It's not just it gets bigger than you at some point. So I'm learning how to be able to separate YouTube Marina from normal Marina. Or is it when I go out these days to church, I meet newcomers who have been watching my videos and like, I chose to come to Saskatoon because I was watching you. 2 Sundays ago, I met an 8-year-old girl. She came to me and she was like, Marina, she was a dramatic reaction for a typical 8-year-old, but it was like, she recognized me that much and she came and gave me a hug and she's like, so when am I coming to your house? You know? So
I love her. I love her boldness.
oh my god, oh my god, it's scary, but
Yeah.
I try to enjoy the moment but not stay hung up on it.
Yeah.
To know that, look, these people are celebrating you right now. All you need is one slip and these are the people that are still going to drag you on Twitter. So don't let it get to your head, enjoy it, but know where to stop and still just keep being yourself. I resist the pressure to want to be what I'm not, because I mean the only thing I know how to be is myself. So you take me the way I come. That's how I
Period. And I also, that thing about hyper visibility is very real, because now you go to church and people know you but you don't know them, right?
true that. True that.
I don't know how to deal with it, honestly. Like, it's not like I have that many followers, but like I'll go out and then you can see someone who looks at you and then you're like, do they know me? Do I know this person? And then they'll come up to you a bit later and say that, oh, I watched your YouTube video, and I'm like, like I'm like, so yeah, I feel like that's a very real thing that you kind of have to be comfortable with once you become a content creator, that people may recognize you. And if you go to Walmart looking busted, yeah, like people may know you. Someone messaged me, hey, I saw you at Walmart. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I was not looking cute. I was not looking cute at all. But how about you, Nora? How do you overcome the fear of imposter syndrome?
Well, for me, it's still something I'm still working on, to be honest. I'm not where I used to be with that, but I am far gone from where I used to be, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, to be honest. And so I tend to question myself a lot. I remember when Tosin was talking about her being a lot in her head and questioning herself, I am my biggest critic. Like, I would tell you guys how many times I've spent hours on a video and then hours again on editing, and that video never made it to YouTube. And it's just, and then even when meeting people are like, oh wow, I watch you on YouTube. I don't know how to take compliments sometimes because of that. I started like, oh, I'm okay with people watching me online, I'm making the comments and we interacting, and then we meet in person, I'm a completely different person sometimes. Yeah, like, because I'm like, I'm not sure how to take this. Oh, you're doing so well on YouTube, how are you doing? I'm like, am I doing that well? Because it's true. And other people are like, I've had a lot of my friends have reached out to me and they're like, you're doing really well, Nora, for someone who just started a year and a half ago. Look at where you are. But personally, I see and I'm still questioning myself. I'm still doubting myself. And other times I'm like, wow, I've actually come this far. I feel like it's a roller coaster of emotions for me sometimes. And I just feel like I'm just going to get out of my head. So I'm joining Tosin and you as well, Reni. I did ask you about like a best link for therapy, because I think I need that. I don't even think I need that. It's not a matter of thinking anymore, because this thing can actually drive you crazy. So I'm learning to, like someone said in the comments, balance is a myth, and also reiterating Marina. It's true. It's all about trade-off. But besides the trade-off and trying to find your own, like your comfort zone and everything with this thing, I'm learning to just let go and just go with the flow when it comes to YouTube, because I just want to be able to meet people, and if someone talks about my channel, I want to be able to be like, okay, yes, like accept and bask in that glory of whatever thing they're saying to me about my channel, and not try to be like, oh, okay, and then brush it off. Let's talk about something else. Let's not talk about my channel, because I did that a lot. Unless you're a creator like me, like I talk with Reni, I have other creator friends that I talk with. I would talk about creating content and everything very freely with them. But if you're not a creator and you talk about my channel, I'm trying to find something else to talk about, because I'm feeling like, cringing and stuff like that. I'm trying to get out of that, to be honest. I don't even know what to say, like how to overcome the fear of the imposter syndrome, because I'm still trying to overcome it as well. So if someone has even a better answer or suggestion on that, I'm all ears. But so far, I'm just trying to see what works for me and what doesn't work. But so far, I'm still cringing when it comes to that.
I totally
Yeah.
relate. I honestly, I totally relate to you. And I think Miriam just made a great comment that we often water down our wins a lot because we try to focus on big wins. That's why I have this thing called a
Absolutely.
ta-da list. And every time that I have a little win, I'm like, I write it down. I'm like, yes. And then when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, I actually did do things this year. Like I may not have reached my, maybe I wanted to get to 15,000 subscribers. I only got to 12,000, but yo, I doubled my following in 1 year. Like that's amazing. You know, these are little wins that you want to celebrate. Like, oh, a brand reached out to me. Oh, that's so exciting. I write it down on my to-do list. Like basically celebrating every single little win can help you. But I still have imposter syndrome sometimes. Like people, I want to do this credit card series, but like I'm feeling some type of like, what do I even know about this? So I don't. I'm getting through it. And having an accountability partner is what has been helping me. So basically, someone who's gonna push me and be like, you can do this. You know what you're doing. You know what to talk about. So just do it. How about you, Tosin? Any tips on getting past imposter syndrome?
You know, when you said you hide, I actually ran one time. I ran. Like I was in this was a couple of years ago, I was in Nigeria and then someone on my street actually, oh, are you to see Larry on Instagram? And I froze and then I ran. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I am so sorry. I just didn't know how to handle it. But I ran. So since then, what I started doing is I started investigating my feelings. Like, why do you feel this way? Why do you think you don't deserve this? Why, like, and I've been in the influencer marketing industry for a very long time, if I do say so myself. And when I was applying to jobs, when I just moved to Canada, I went to school. And when I was applying to influencer marketing agencies, I got a couple of no's because they're like, oh, you don't have Canadian experience, blah 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 blah, and that kind of hits my confidence. But along the line, when I eventually got the job, I had a lot of imposter syndrome because I'm like, oh my god, it took me so long to get here. Do I really deserve to be here? And then I do certain things, and they're like, oh, you know how to do that? How did you know how to do that? They're like, I'm a content creator, so I know how to edit. And the more times I started like saying it in interviews that I'm a content creator, I started getting more jobs because I'm bringing a new perspective to the table. So each time I feel like, oh, I don't deserve this, especially at work, I tell myself, you deserve it. You've been here for so long. Frankly, you should even be more than where you are. You deserve it. So take it. So I just give myself pep talk, investigate my feelings, and I speak to people really. A good support system is just really what helps.
Support system is key, yes. And yeah, I feel like if you look, especially in the workplace, like if we look around and see, like there are lots of creators, or not creators, sorry, lots of people who are doing the same, who are not even as good as us in the workplace, who are our managers, managers. And what are they doing? Like I used to, when I was working at the bank, I was like, I could do these people's jobs easily. My manager would reach out to me and ask me, "Can you help me turn this into a PDF?" And I'm like, "Girl, how did you get this job?" so so I feel like we need to give ourselves more credit, you know? We need to give ourselves more credit. Okay, I said we would end this at 1:30. It's 1:32. So I'm just gonna ask one more or two more questions. So one question would be, how do you find brands to work with? Maybe Tosi, you can I hear some feedback. Okay. Tosi, maybe you can answer this. And how do we find brands to work with? And everyone who's watching, how do they find brands to work with?
I would say start by the brands you already use, brands you already like. Start talking about them. The fact, I mean, you already have that brand loyalty, that brand love, since it's something you already use and like. So start talking about them more often. Once you start talking about them, you already have that relationship with the brand. Your audience already knows, oh, Tosin always talks about iced tea, for example, because iced tea is my best drink. She always talks about iced tea. So if I would usually maybe just DM the brand on Instagram and ask for the email of their marketing rep. A lot of times brands actually answer you. Some people say the brands don't answer them, but I feel like a lot of times brands do. Another tip could be that you can go on LinkedIn and research and find who the marketing manager is for that brand. And then there's this funny thing on Google where you can find the kind of email formats that they use at that brand. So, for example, maybe the email formats they use is first name dot last name at maybe gmail.com or at the brand name.com. When you've gone to LinkedIn and you found the person's name, now all you have to do is you now have the name, just use the email format and send your email. Introduce yourself. You don't have to give them all your life history. Just introduce yourself. Oh, this is who I am. These are my channels. Attach a media kit. Show them like some of the brands that you have worked with in the past. If you've never worked with a brand, which is why I said it might be helpful to accept PR or gifted when you are just starting out, because it serves as a portfolio for you. So you can just do that. I think to reaching out to brands, that's the easiest way to reach out if you are the one doing the outreach yourself. If you want them to notice you, the work is a bit harder because you just have to keep talking about them a lot. There's something that Reni does that I really like, where she asks her followers to tag the brand. She's bold. I'm scared. I'm always scared to do it. Each time I see Reni, yeah, I'm always like, it's as if I'm begging them.
Nah, I'm in their DMs, like I'm in their DMs, bro.
I'm telling you that I'm always in my head. In my mind, I'm like, how am I begging people to help me tag the brand? Do it. See, if you want to grow, don't have shame.
Yeah.
Don't have shame. Just, and then the brands begin to recognize themselves. And in that way, you probably don't even have to outreach. And even when you email them, they kind of already know you because your followers have bought the hell out of them. So,
That's so true. And especially from my point of, like, as you said, for those who don't follow me, I know some people don't follow me here. I have a hashtag called #ReniRated, and it's basically products that I really like and use. So I tell people, if you use that product, tag me, tag the brand. And that's how a brand that I really love just asked if they could send me products. It's not a paid collaboration, but they're going to send me products. And I'm like, okay, I would buy it with my own money anyway. So I might as well accept these and now I'm on their list. And also like a company that I really like, I just tagged every time I go to the grocery store, I use PC points, right? So I tag PC every time I do it. I get my free groceries. And then recently they just reached out to me, right? So it's like getting on their radar. DMs are a great way. So that's one good thing about Instagram, I would say, because TikTok, you can't DM people who don't follow you. So I think Instagram is like that's one good thing about Instagram. How about Marina or Nora? Have you reached out to brands, or how have you found brands to work with?
I can do a lot better in this area. Like I mentioned earlier, predominantly the brands I've worked with are the brands that have reached out to me. So as Reni was speaking, as Tosin was speaking, in my head, I'm like, okay, which brands do I like? Who am I going to be DMing soon? So Tosin, have been speaking to me throughout this conversation. I can do so much better there, but most of the ones that I've worked with are the brands that reach out to me. So there's more work to be done there.
Yeah, and I would say all my paid collaborations have been people who have reached out to me as well, actually. Like I would say the gifted ones are typically brands I've reached out. I haven't reached out. I've just DM'd them or tagged them in my post, basically. But yeah, I feel like we could all probably do better. But it's hard to get those no's. Getting those no's is hard.
Yeah.
And then one other question, I'm gonna come to you, Nora. But how do you know when a brand is real or a scam when they connect to you through email? Some people there's an email, and there's like instead of like at hotmail.com, I mean at the brand name.com, it'll say like at hotmail.com or at yahoo.com. Probably not a legit brand. If it's a big brand, they're not going to be using Yahoo. They're going to have their own domain. But also some of them are .cz. Have any of you noticed that?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I get a lot of .c. I just do it.
Yeah, so for those listening, it'll be like Reni.auditoriumbo at Reni.auditoriumbo at whatever brand.cz instead of .com. And the brand is often what's it called? It's fake, basically. And what happened to a person that I follow is that the brand, they sent them like a link. They opened the link and it put malware on their computer. Yeah. And they hacked into their webcam and they blackmailed them with pictures of themselves. So like Like, don't click
Yeah,
on those links. Yeah. But other than that, I'm not sure how to
true.
identify if they're fake. I usually Google the
I can.
company. Yeah.
I,
Yes, that's a good
so
one. Google the company. One other thing that I do is, first of all, when they send you that email and say, hi, social media user, or hi, content creator, they sent it to so many people. Chances are they just sent out a blast looking for who will respond. Another thing that I try to do is when a brand reaches out to me and they want me to try out something that is completely different from my channel, a video I've never done. Like imagine a
Mm,
gaming company sending me videos, an email to say we want you to try out this gaming product. It means you have never looked at my channel and you don't know that my audience is not for content like that. So
yeah.
that tells me that they haven't done any work, and chances are it's a scam. So check what they're asking you to do, the email address, where the brand is coming from. Never, ever, ever click on any link within the email. If
Hmm.
they say check out our website on this link, go on Google, search them
Google
out.
and search.
Never ever click a link that is within an email if you're not sure of them. So those gaming companies are very notorious for that, and you want to be extra
Yeah.
careful.
And they'll be like, "Oh, we'll pay you $3,000 to do a,"
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
always a
like,
ridiculous amount.
and they'll be like, "It just needs to be a 30-second clip," and I'm like, $3,000 for a 30-second clip?
Yeah, and we're
Oh,
going to do like they tell you it's going to be like I've forgotten what they call them, like pre-rolls. They tell
integration.
you
Yes.
yes,
Pre-roll.
integration videos where you have to download the video. You
Yeah.
do that at your own risk. Like they take control of everything.
I
Yes.
mean, another thing is once they tell you the amounts they want to pay you, the first email
Yeah.
is a red flag.
They should be asking for your rates,
For your
right?
rate card, yeah.
They
Yeah.
either ask for your rate card or at least accept that you want to work with them first.
Yeah.
No serious brand tells you how much they want to pay you from the very first email. It's a red flag. Bad
True.
Some
grammar,
even some
yeah.
even ask you
Don't
to
follow.
WhatsApp them. Those ones just
Oh
delete. The
yeah.
ones where like,
You
okay,
can
reach
reply
us
me
or
on this
contact us on
number.
WhatsApp. Yeah, on this what? Yeah.
Yeah. Big scam. Nora, have you reached out to any brands, or how are you finding brands to work with?
For me, to be honest, I've only had brands. Most of the brands that I've worked with have reached out to me, but the second time that I worked with the same brand was actually through. I mean, the first time that they reached out to me was through an influencer program. So you want to join some influencer program? I'm with Clever and Aspire IQ. That I actually joined. So it was through them that Cricut reached out to me the first time, and then the second time, still through Aspire, I actually then reached out to them. It was during Halloween of last year, and then they were like, "Oh, sure, we're gonna work with you again." And then that was how that went on. Then the one that I actually went out of my way and actually did like message them on Facebook actually was KinoMaster. They're not even my group. It's just because I really loved this app, and I only used them for the longest time on my channel. So I actually reached out to them on Instagram and then on Facebook because the person on Instagram said to me to write to whoever does your Facebook whatsoever. So I sent a Facebook message and then they sent me an official email. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'd love for you to do a quick short video on how you do like a clone. No, it wasn't clone. To do a video, some editing feature on your app to show whatsoever, and they're gonna put it on your channel, which they did. And for a very short video, the pay was good, but that was like the first time I actually reached out to a brand and it was a yes. But I
Mhm.
haven't really been actively going out of my way and really looking for brands because most of the brands that I want to reach out to, especially with DIY and decor, I keep feeling like I'm not there yet. If I
You
probably
are
reach out
there.
to
You
them,
are there, sis. You
Absolutely.
are
Do
there.
it.
You are
I
Do
keep
it.
there.
feeling like because when I see the other creators that I work with, especially on Instagram, I'm like they're pretty big compared to where I am. So that kind of makes me feel like maybe I have to do a little bit more work before I try to reach out to them or something of that
No,
sort. So
girl, listen to
Yeah.
me. Listen to me. You need to apply. You need to send them your media kit and reach out to them,
Yeah.
please. Because even the
funny thing is,
mhm.
funny thing is actually talking about Media Kit. I actually just recently worked on one. I'm gonna send it to you on WhatsApp so you can give me like your feedback
Okay.
for any resource. Okay.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
wanted to really rate. I don't know, so I want to know that.
Yeah, and
But I
another
worked on that recently.
yeah, and someone was saying, is it more important to have a lot of followers as well, or is it important to have an engaged community? And I will say that, like
Engagement.
you were just saying that you need followers. The community is important. I think both play a factor, but community is very important. Like the campaign that I'm going to be working on soon, they chose 3 influencers in Canada. I was one of them, and I look at the other 2 influencers. They have a million plus followers, each of them, and I have 11,000 followers. So but I was chosen, and they said it was because of the brand handpicked me because of the engaged community and this and this. So I was like, okay, it's not just about the followers, it's about both. So I would say cultivate both at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're over time. The last question that I wanted to ask was Miriam's question. She said, does anyone have any tips on changing your niche on YouTube? How does that affect your growth? Or would you recommend just opening a new channel and starting from scratch if your niche type of content changes? So I think you are about to do this, Nora. You just started a new channel. So maybe you could discuss this. Do you think it's better to...
So I'm just reading the question, just a moment.
Okay. I was also considering this. Also, like, well, should I create a separate channel for my fashion, my finance content, and then all my lifestyle in one? So, what about you?
So my suggestion, why I'm starting a new channel is because, just like I think from the start of the video, Tosin did make a statement about if you're looking to switching up your niche and they're too far apart, it will make sense for you to definitely start up a new channel than trying to like mingle all of them together, because that may just throw off your audience. So I'm starting a new channel because of that, because what I want to do on my new channel, right now my channel is like technically strictly DIY decor, anything that has to do with crafts and decor and home and stuff like that. But I also want to bring back my vlogs. I want to be able to bring back like just cooking and just my fitness routines and stuff like that. And I just feel like it's going to be completely off what I'm currently doing. So it will make sense if you've grown your channel to a certain level with a particular niche and you want to introduce another niche. It all depends too on your audience. Sometimes the audience will work on whatever you give to them. I've seen that with some channels. They do very well with that. But most of the DIY channels that I do follow, they tend to have a second channel for their vlogs or other things, because it's not as easy to just, throw in. If I'm doing a vlog, it will have to be like maybe shopping haul with decor. I'm going to trip items, something that has to be DIY related. But I don't want to only do that, and that's why I want to create its other channel. And I'm still going to be able to tell my audience on this current channel, if you're interested to go over there to see how I did this, those that are interested who go over there and follow. But yes, you may want to start up a different channel with another niche if the difference is too wide. The difference between the two niches is too wide.
Yeah, and I would say that if you do change your niche and keep your same channel, because maybe you have a lot of followers on your existing channel, you may see that you don't get views, because the people are not there for this new content. They're strictly there for your other content. So I've seen a lot of YouTubers just start separate pages for their other content. Tosin, do you have any thoughts on this?
I would say it's the best, the easiest way really is the tip you mentioned earlier. Find a way to merge the two. Maybe you want to try cooking videos, for example, and your former videos used to be beauty videos. It's so broad, but a way to like bring them together can be a day in my life kind of video. You can show them how you wake up in the morning and you make breakfast. That covers the cooking aspect. And you can show them how you get ready for your day by doing your makeup. So find ways to integrate both in one video. I think that's an easy way.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Marina, anything to add to that?
What she said.
Okay. Well, okay. That was a long live. Thank you all so much for being here. I think Nora had to go quickly, but thank you all for being here. I really appreciate your time. Can we all thank in the chat? Can we thank them, please? And remember, if you want to enter the giveaway, you can just comment on my last post and just make sure you follow these ladies too. We have in the description box, we have all their details. And yeah, thank you for joining, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks for staying on so long, Danica, Anu, Oh, okay. The comments are moving fast now. I can't really read. Ziba, Cam, Nello, Fumi. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Let me know what kind of lives you want to see next, and I will make sure to get those done for you. Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.